Good day everyone, and welcome back to 4-Wheel Builds. As you can see behind me, the C450 AMG has now come back from a body shop. At the same time, the engine has gone to the V12 garage for the boys to check the engine to make sure it's good and then piece it all back together. Now that the engine bay has been painted, we just need to make sure it's ready to have the engine reinstalled. That means we have to reinstall all the bits and pieces that I and the body shop took off in order to get this car fixed.
So without further ado, let's get some tools out and get wrenching. Just to make sure that these parts do not get damaged, I'll take the fender off and the front bumper. The front bumper, I actually need to do some modifications to it, so it needs to come off anyway. The bumper is currently just held in place with some TX25s. 3 to be exact. And there's 3 tabs on top here that also hold the bumper in place. Out of this bumper I will need to take the grille out and obviously also prep the actual bumper shell to accept the camera. And I've got a really cool looking grille to replace this one. Okay, so let's start off first of all feeding the wiring loom back into the engine bay, and that's the hole right there. And this is the wiring loom that needs to be fed through that hole. This should be fun. And I must admit, in the end, that actually went through relatively easy. And on the inside, it's also all nice, neat and tidy. Now with wiring looms, as they snake along, they essentially show you where they need to clip in. So you've got a clip here, and there's a stud coming out. You can pretty much straight away see that, okay, that needs to plug in there. There we go, this ground needs to go right there. This will be to the ABS pump, and I believe this wiring needs to hook up there. There you go. So we've got this plugged in, and I think we can get the bracket that holds the ABS pump in now. Okay, and I'm making really good progress with this. Pretty much this corner is all finished up. I've got all the brake lines connected up, but that's all looking really good. So now what I'd like to do is actually get this wheel off, get these brake lines tied up. So there's actually a couple of brake lines that go in here, and they don't seem to quite fit. I think they might have been bent during the accident, so I just need to work that out and get those connected up. Plus obviously the one that's going to the actual brake caliper needs to be put on. And then once that's done, we'll get onto that corner. Okay, I've got the brake lines on the left hand side done. So that's the brake line to the caliper, and there's these brake lines. It was quite tough to actually just line these up, make sure that the thread is okay, but I got them on in the end, which is great. Okay, so this side is done, and now let's get the right hand side done. And now we've got the brakes done on the right hand side. Let's now install this area, so the fuse box, all the right hand side of the engine bay. I need to put the shielding back on. My one's cracked. But lucky enough, when I bought the, used front end, I got these plastics in a deal as well. So let me get up onto my used parts store and bring these parts down. So here's my used parts store. And where are those pieces that I've got for the Mercedes? There they are. I've got the side bits. I believe mine are fine, but we'll take them down anyway. Plus I actually found the washer fluid reservoir, which I can install as well, which is kind of cool. Just trial fitting one of these side, I guess, shields, because there's actually fuel lines running here. Just need to, I think I need to get these located into these slots or into these clips here, just to make sure they don't flip about. Okay, next one of these next things before I put the shields on, just get this IC lines secured. Make sure they're all connected up. We also have this broken hose that plugs into the brake servo, so I need to get that replaced. We've got a replacement right here. There doesn't seem to be any clips for this at all. And from our old shield we need to take off the main negative cable. And as with most, it's just a number 13. I'll put that onto a new one straight away. And whilst it's fresh in our heads, let's just put onto the new panel, or new shielding, just to make sure we've got everything in the right location. Okay, I've just realised that on the new shield, this bracket right here is broken, so I can't actually close up the, I guess, the connections. So I've just undid the old one and I'll put it into the new shield. But in order to do that, I need to undo these electrical cable connections. And now this should just pop out like so. There you go, that's the broken tab here. So I can't close one of these. This one's a good one, so let's just get this in, get it screwed back in and continue on. Okay, a few minutes of work, we've got our connections changed over. So now let's just connect all the cabling in the back. With both of the shields done, the only thing really we've got left is to do is that electrical fuse box. And the only issue I've got here is I've got this connector and this connector, which I must admit I'm not quite sure as to where they go, so I need to review the footage and see if I can pinpoint as to where these things need to go to. Let's first off just mount up this fuse box, get it secured, and there's a few plugs that then we need to connect. And I think we should be able to drop the battery in there, and maybe that's going to improve, well, help me out with getting the seat back in. So there's this big bolt that goes right here. There's a 10 that goes right there. I think I just worked out this big connector goes right in there. Okay, and maybe we can get that battery put in here. There, into it as yet. Let's maybe see if we can get.
So we've got the battery connected. Let's have a look if the seat is... there you go. The seat's moving forward and back. Awesome. Okay, so the next steps that I need to do is actually take this whole front section off, as that is going to be preventing us from sliding this engine into the engine bay. Now I thought I was going to be able to do this without taking the headlamps off, but I won't be, because these bolts that need to be undone here. Well, there's one underneath right there, and it's going to be hitting the lamp. So I need to dismantle the lamps. After the lamps, I need to dismantle those 3 bolts on that side, and there's 4 bolts on that side. And finally there's 2 bolts each here, which needs to be undone. So let's get cracking. Okay, so to get this lamp off, there's 3 bolts holding it. One here, access from here, and there's one right on the bottom there, which you access from the rear. Oh. That's 2. And that is 3. Our lamp should be free to come out. And there it is. Now we've got great access to 1, 2, 3 bolts on this side to get those undone. So now that we've got both headlamps out, we can start working on these E10s. There's 2 on this side and 2 on this side. But as you can see, these are also working as my hood prop. So before I go ahead and remove them, I need to devise a new way of actually holding the hood up. So I think I'll get these 2 removed, and then I'll use this to hold my board. So now that I've got the hood propped, I can undo these 2 bolts here. So these are the big boys now, 18mm. So let's get that big Ryobi impact. It does a lot of work of that. Okay, so that's one side 3, and let's go to the other one. Oh, I didn't say it was going to be easy. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. We're back to square one. Sometimes it's like that. It's 1 step forward and 2 steps back. But this is actually necessary in order for us to be able to slot the engine in. Once that's done, I'll be able to rebuild that front once and for all. So next thing I got to do is sort out this windshield washer pump. Okay, first of all, let's maybe take this off. And now what it's got to do is pry this plastic out. This plastic right there. Now it's just a matter of taking the hose out. So there we go. So this goes over the hose first, and then we'll have this washer that closes everything up. Okay, so let's, I guess, do the same on the car. Now we'll just cut off 5 or 6 of these ribs, because the hose I've got is actually a little bit squashed, and I think that's going to interfere with it holding the fluid. So I think it's plenty long enough anyway. Okay, so now it's a matter of actually putting this cap on. I think those. So now let's put the rubber seal on. Now let's connect this up. Now this connects on this side. I believe that goes to that there. So that goes into the hole on the bottom, and this goes here, and there we go.
So we've got the windscreen washer and all the components all sorted out, so that's all in place. I might just grab some cable ties and just zip tie this together, and that should be fine.
Well, we're knocking things out like crazy today. So, on to the next task. And that's this front bumper.
First of all, this bumper shell doesn't have an allowance for the camera, front camera. So what I need to do is just, I guess, cut out a bit of the front bumper. And secondly, is this grille. I've got a awesome looking grille sitting right there in that box. So lucky for me, amongst all this crap that's still lying around from the crash, I've got the top of the bumper. And then use some masking tape to make a template of this. Stick on there, and I guess cut it out. At least that's the plan. So first things first, let's flip this bumper over and remove the grille. Okay, so for this plastic, I guess, wind tunnel, there's a whole bunch of clips that we need to go around the whole thing and get this piece out next. And there's the grille, guys. I've been able to get that removed. It wasn't overly too tough, but there is a lot of those tabs that you need to undo, and you need to do it carefully because, well, that can break very easily. Anyway, so this is now off, so let's get our template and get that prepared for the bumper to be cut. The template itself, if you actually take a look, I'm not quite sure if the camera will pick it up, but if you take a look here, it's actually quite rough. So not quite sure if they actually don't actually cut this on the fly as well. So for the check, I'm just going to use some masking tape to place on here, like so. In the flanges, that good reference points. Okay, I think we're about good there. Okay, so I think we should be able to get this and put it onto our bumper. Let's give this a wipe down just to make sure everything sticks properly. Okay, now let's grab our template and stick it on, and let's see if we can keep to the reference points. That will be about it. Mark this out a little bit more with a marker. Okay, so this is what we've got to cut. Alright guys, we just had a call from the V12 garage. They want me to pop around and have a chat about the engine. Apparently there is an issue that needs to be dealt with, and it's apparently something fairly serious. So we'll drive over there and see what the hell's going on, but let's finish off the bumper first. Okay, so I've got some sandpaper on my Dremel tool. I'm not quite sure as to what grade it is, but it's quite rough, so I think it should do well with this plastic. Cutout is made. Actually really happy with that, how it came out. So I think now we're ready to do the big reveal and get this new grille installed. Guys, the new grille that we've got, yeah, it's got an AMG logo on it as well. Obviously it's used. Now it is from a newer model, so the only thing is it's got the actual sides are a little bit different. So if we have a look at the current one and the new one side by side, you can see you got the cutout, but then it sort of goes in like that. Whereas this one is, well, I guess fully built up here. Let's see if we can get this slot cut out in this bumper bar, so we're able to fit it. Take the Mercedes logo out. I've just set it down on some, I guess, material just not to scratch it up. And from the
rear, just grab the ribs and there you go, twist it to the right and away she pops. So let's put the logo away for safekeeping. Okay, so I've just put that new grill in, and as you can see it is aligned. What I need to do is actually cut a slot right there for this tab to go in, slot in. I ran into a bit of a problem with this grill, unfortunately. All the slots for the tabs at the top here fit perfectly. Obviously the size we know about, but as we get to here on the sides and on the bottom, as you might see, the tabs are not lining up at all. So I've got a tab right there, there's no hole there. I've got another tab there, there's no hole. Another one there, no hole. So that's a bit of a bugger. So now I guess I've got to make a decision as to what I want to do. Do I want to cut this grill up and cut out the slots for this? Or do I get rid of this grill and buy another one? Must admit, I really like this grill. I'm sort of willing to risk it and cut this up to make these tabs fit.
A few moments later.
Because I'm just holding the upper bar in place and with the grill behind it, and dang, the way that looks, I really like that. So you know what? Let's just go ahead and let's cut this up and make the slots for the tabs and run with that. I really like this grill. Let me know what you think, what you would do in such a situation. Well, this could be a really brilliant idea, or it could be a monumental disaster. I guess only one way to find out. It's probably hard to see. Let's go and try and fit it to the car. Well, not the car, the bumper bar. Unfortunately, I have to give up on this. This does not want to clip in there. Even these clips that are meant to be, I guess, the original clips, they do not want to really go in there. Well, they do snap in there, but they don't really snap properly. They don't actually hold the grill in place. So unfortunately, I have to give up on my dream to have this C63 grill. I mean, there is aftermarket parts such as these. So I've got to put this one up for sale. If anyone does want to continue on my journey and see if they can fit a C63 grill to a C64. A C64? No, to a C43. So that's a bit of a bummer, but... Okay, so I need to order another grill. Well, that's going to be it for today's episode. I hope you're enjoying the journey of rebuilding this C450 AMG as much as I am. It's a really exciting project, and I hope to see you guys in the next episode. And if you did enjoy the episode, please consider leaving me a like, leave me a comment. Always love reading your comments, and please consider subscribing to the channel because it's going to help me and the channel out enormously, hopefully bring you more content and more great cars. And I hope to see you guys in the next episode. Peace.